And the Democrats have picked a side. They're going to stick by their bullshit. Remember, this is a party.
The election integrity.
In the federal courts that said they had every right to go into the back room filled with cigar smokes and pick whoever they want. Well, they double down on the fact that they're saying there's nothing wrong with mail-in ballots. Nothing can go wrong, fam.
So here's the thing with the election integrity issue. It is a difficult issue for people to navigate through because there's a lot of nuance to it. The fact is that the Democratic Party has rigged elections for years, especially primary elections during the Bernie Sanders 2016. There was not just election fraud and voter suppression, but specifically regarding the machines, regarding some ballots that were never counted. And we saw that also play out in 2018 and in the recent congressional races too, where in Wisconsin there was tons of ballots found, mainly progressive ballots that weren't counted in the primaries, right? And so we go to Donald Trump now, where he's talking about election integrity. The only reason he cares is because he can use this as a political narrative to manipulate for his base and votes for him, sure. But that doesn't make the issue of third-party voting or of the mail-in voting and the missing the votes that weren't counted, and of course the main issue he's been talking about, which is the what?
He's coming on. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Which is the voting.
We're going to go on a quick 1 minute break, 2 minute break, Johnny. 2 minute break, and we'll be right back with a special guest to talk about election integrity and the debates and everything that's going on. We'll be right back.
What they were saying.
Oh,
Welcome back to the Convo Couch. A pretty small break. We have a special guest, Jimmy James Dean Dore. I can't. He's with
All right,
us.
Joe. Pasta's being Joe
You
Biden
go
right now.
first. Yeah, that should be a question. I mean, my first question is, did you make it through 15 minutes of the debate?
Without drinking?
I don't know if you know what these are. But do you see how many of them I've eaten?
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Oh, are you supposed to eat that one?
here goes another
I'm
one.
supposed
You'd
eat that
probably
many.
still do better than Joe Biden in this debate. So what?
Well, I like that. You can say what you want. Sure, they were yelling, but look at all the great policy ideas that were put forward.
I know. Cutting edge.
If that doesn't inspire the 100 million people who don't vote to vote, I don't know what will.
Yeah.
Joe Biden calling him a clown and having absolutely not one policy that's going to make anyone's life better. Not one. Except for sure, he's not for the Green New Deal. We know that. That's for clear.
We know he's not for defunding the police. We know that for sure.
We know that for sure. And he's for law and order.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
it was, you know, it was actually a little entertaining because Trump is such a maniac, and that he wouldn't let Joe Biden talk. I was, it was like he was debating the interrupting cow.
Yeah, yeah.
And you know, but I've heard people already say, "Oh, well, Mike Wallace didn't know what to do with Trump." But what the fuck do you do with a guy who doesn't stop talking? What is he supposed to do? Go slap him? What is he supposed to fucking do? There's nothing to do. That's how Trump fucking debates. And unless they give Chris Wallace the power of the microphone, Trump's going to be able to talk for as long as he wants. Did you think Chris Wallace is going to find a piece of logic that goes into Trump's brain and go, "Oh, that's a good point. I will stop talking"?
Yeah.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
He's going to talk whenever he fucking feels like it. And he was trying to rattle Joe Biden, and Joe Biden did look like he was. He was not in. He looked on defense the whole night, and when he kept looking down, and especially when he talked about, he goes, "My son served in Iraq. You should be," you know, like he doesn't feel bad about that. Like, my son had to go to that stupid fucking war because of assholes like me.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Donald Trump said that Joe Biden was responsible for the deaths of millions of people regarding his foreign policy. So now he's attacking Joe Biden from the left, which to me was it's like, hello, we told you this was going to happen. We told you that Donald Trump was going to go there and attack Joe Biden from the left if you had somebody like Joe Biden there. And he brought up the 1994 crime bill, which I thought that was regarding calling them super predators. I mean, to me, that was like the knife in there that really did it for Joe Biden, who's supposed to be the Democratic president that isn't the white supremacist.
I mean, and the fact that Joe Biden can't distance himself from the 94 crime bill.
Right.
That if he would have said, "Hey, we've been through that, pal. I've said what I would have did differently. That was 25 years ago. Why don't you talk about the last 8 years?" He can't say that because the last 8 years sucked too. They just had 8 years. What did they do for criminal justice reform? Fucking nothing. They wouldn't even do anything with marijuana. I mean, they are the ones who militarized the police. That's the thing that Trump couldn't say.
Yep.
He couldn't say they militarized the police because he wants to militarize them even more, because that's what. So what I read, that's what I realized. We got two right wingers. Yep. Nobody's going to fucking attack Joe Biden for his right wingerness. He's not going to go, "Oh, you militarized the police." So it's just it's an unbelievable shit show. And the fact that people think, I don't know if you heard that podcast Nancy Pelosi just did with that woman Kara something, and Kara Swisher, and she was asking Nancy Pelosi, "What are you going to do specifically to help fight against Trump?" And she basically kept saying, "Nothing. We're not doing anything." And then she got Nancy Pelosi to admit that we don't have to worry about abortion because the Republicans have had control of government and they've never tried to repeal abortion. So that's not an issue. And I go, "Oh, she just fucked up. She just made a gaffe."
She told the truth.
Told the truth.
Yeah,
she told the truth.
Yeah, how are you going to fundraise now off abortion, fuckface?
Yeah.
So anyway, that's getting a little off the subject, but my whole point is this is just wrestling. They both work for the same guys. Joe Biden wants to increase the military. Trump wants to increase the military. Joe Biden wants to increase the police. Fucking Trump wants to increase the police. Joe Biden wants to deregulate Wall Street. Trump wants to deregulate Wall. If they're the same, nope, they don't. Trump doesn't want to give you health care. Biden doesn't want to give you health care. They both want to keep fracking going. But they both are against the Green New Deal. What the fuck?
It's crazy that Donald Trump look better on the environment than Joe Biden. He actually created something up. It's like, oh, the Democratic governor, they're not taking care of their forest. They don't have enough forest sweepers there keeping the floor clean, and that's why we got fires over there. We're going to put up 1 billion trees, but that's the Democratic game. They can't talk about anything positive they can do. It's just Trump against no policy. Right. Trump is bad, Trump is bad, Trump is bad. It's WWE wrestling, but Donald Trump's the better WWE wrestler. That 47-year comment, Joe, you had 47 years. Why haven't you done anything in 47 years? That is going to stick so much. Forget about it.
Nobody goes to your rallies.
That was hilarious because that's true. Nobody does go to his rallies, just like Hillary Clinton.
Same thing. Yeah,
exactly.
And even when Bernie would go out and stump for Hillary after he lost to her or whatever, gave up to her, no one would come and see Bernie. No. Which just goes to prove, like, people try to say, oh, you guys are in a cult of Bernie. No, we made Bernie.
Right.
He said the shit that we wanted.
Yep.
And as soon as he stopped saying the shit that we wanted, we fucking let him have it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that, Jimmy, a little bit, because a lot of us, I'm sure you have been vilified yet again with the same tactics used in 2016 with Jill Stein. We saw what Bill Maher said about the rape baby and naming it Jill Stein. How are you dealing with these people this time around? Because I don't know about you, but they're using the same exact vote shaming bullshit tactics and have absolutely zero indication as to how they think this is going to get anybody to vote for them.
Well, it's not. That I deal with it the same way I dealt with it last time. Your voter outreach is really shitty. You guys should try a different tactic. It's not working. And then the other thing I say, if Jill Stein and people like me had as much power as you claim we did, you'd be a lot nicer to us and you'd be trying to win us over. But you don't. You just need a scapegoat because you guys are. I mean, if somebody wants to give me that power of me being the kingmaker, then don't you think they would be nice to me? That's not how you treat kingmakers. You try to court them. Yep. So that just it's transparent bullshit scapegoating, and they can say that if they want, but. It's amazing the cowardice. I mean, I have no idea how this country got this far. I mean, I thought that we got past McCarthyism. Now people do it like fucking nothing.
Like it's nothing. Like it's nothing.
Like it's nothing. Oh, he did it tonight. He called him Putin's whatever he said about Putin.
Yeah.
It's like they just do it right. It's like, didn't we already go through? We had movies about this. We had books written. We all agreed this was bad. And now you just do it whenever you guys, it's just the fact. And everyone accepts it. They like doing it. They do it to soldiers like Tulsi Gabbard.
Yeah.
It's fucking, we're a country of adult children of alcoholics.
Yep.
And we're a bully nation. People say Trump is a bully. We are a bully as a nation. Look what we did around the world with Barack Obama, 2 wars to 7. What did we do in Libya? Isn't that bullying? Yeah. What did we dropped 26,000 bombs on Syria? Isn't that bullying? What the fuck do you call that? What are we doing in Venezuela? What did we do in fucking Bolivia for lithium? We're nothing but a bully fucking we're a giant bully, and the other half of the country is a bunch of adult children of alcoholics. They don't get mad at the bully. They get mad at the guy who points out that there's something fucked up. That means people like you and people like me and people like Jill Stein.
Yeah.
And Julian Assange. We could even talk about Julian Assange, how the guy's not even American and we're trying to extradite him via a kangaroo trial, even though the defense is so good and the prosecution is so bad at their jobs. It doesn't matter. They have the judge in their hands and they're going to extradite him. And what does that mean for people like you and I, or and us and like all the journalists out there? None of these mainstream media and even some of the progressive media have been talking about Julian Assange. It was definitely not mentioned at all during this debate. I was definitely not surprised by that. But that goes to show you that the people telling the truth are going to be the ones punished. And nobody is talking about that. They're not dealing with that reality. We're not entering into fascism. We're living in it right now. And what we're seeing happening in this country, in the streets, with the police and the police state is part of what's happening to Julian Assange. And nobody's making those connections.
So the guy who's supposed to be the antidote to a right-wing fascist authoritarian is a right-wing fascist authoritarian.
Yeah, yeah.
The guy who wrote the crime bill, the guy who did the Iraq war, the guy who did Libya, the guy who was part of the administration that repealed habeas motherfucking corpus. And this is the guy who's supposed to bring us back liberty and democracy and freedom. And that you're trading one right-wing fascist for another.
Yeah,
that's not hyperbole.
No.
Yeah. You know what was really good tonight, though, Jimmy? I got to admit, and I'm not sitting here rooting for Donald Trump, but the way he used the Moscow governor sending his son money, it was like a personal thing. You want to Russiagate against me for a couple years, you son of a bitch? Well, your son took money from this Moscow governor or this Moscow mayor or whatever he was talking about, the millions of dollars. Don't you think that played a little bit from what Trump's been through for the last couple of years with Russiagate, that played into the attacks tonight with Burisma and this situation into Hunter Biden?
I think that Trump would have did it regardless, but I'm sure he relished it more because of the fact, that he's been Russiagated. And isn't it amazing? That's the part of the story the New York Times didn't print, that Hunter Biden received a $3.2 million wire transfer from the richest female billionaire in Russia. Isn't that something? And they left that out of the story. That's weird. So I was going to cover that today. I didn't have time. I'm actually going to cover that tomorrow. And it was smart of Trump to bring that up. I don't think Joe Biden got one goddamn vote tonight. I can't see if he's trying to get how do you get some of the 100 million people who don't vote to vote? And he doesn't give a fuck about them. He's trying to get some Republicans to vote for him, just like Hillary Clinton was. He's not trying to get the socialists to vote. He's not trying to get the environmentalists to vote. He's not trying to get the progressives to vote or the disaffected working class. He's trying to get rich, white, suburbans, Republicans to vote for him. And that's why we're in the position we're in. And that's why all they have is voter bullying.
That's it. Do you think that he can win at all? Do you think Joe Biden has a chance to beat Donald Trump?
Even Hillary Clinton got more votes than he did.
Yeah.
But I mean, the fact that it's neck and neck, the fact that we all think that he could lose to Donald Trump after 4 years of Donald Trump, the Democrats are at risk of losing to him again. That's how fucking bad the Democrats are. They're actually and you know what I say about that anyway? All these blue check Hollywood types who claim they're not political. And then but they're going to say something now because of Donald Trump, because they're such good fucking people. No, you've been political when you don't say something about the horrible shit Barack Obama was doing for 8 years. That's political.
Yeah. You got a question, Chris?
Well, so what do you think is going to happen with Kamala Harris and Pence? Because the thought of having a top cop and a theocrat debating just seems to be a losing debate anyway.
I mean, it could not get more absurd, and yet it's like still. I hate to harp on it. I just can't get over all the friends I've made in show business in the last 20 years and how they're just they've lost. I don't want to insult them because I just don't know what to do to wake them up to the fact that they're this idea that Nancy Pelosi and her billionaire Wall Street friends oppose Donald Trump.
Right.
And her military industrial complex friend, the people who it's just a joke. And the fact that they really think voting for Biden will make things better.
I know.
But what voting for Biden does is just create another problem.
Right.
Yeah. Well, what's going to happen day one if Donald Trump wins again? I mean, in 2016, we didn't know what was going to happen. I think a lot of people bought into let's go into the Democratic Party and change it from the inside. No offense, not going to work. But this time,
how is it that I knew that, Craig? How is it that I fucking knew that wasn't going to work? How the fuck is it?
Because Bernie said it could work.
I just ate a whole bag of weed. How is it that I know that?
Well, what happens this time, Jimmy? What happens this time if Donald Trump wins again? I mean, isn't it walking time for the Democrats? I'm waiting to Dem exit just for that day so there can be 1 million of us leave the Democratic Party. I mean, what do you think is going to happen if Donald Trump wins again to the Democratic Party?
I would have. I'm bad at this kind of predictions, but I would have thought that losing to him the first time would have made them crumble. I would have thought that it would have given rise to a third party for sure, but that's where Bernie Sanders came in to make sure that didn't happen. I wish that wasn't true, but that's exactly what happened. And I lost you.
We're good.
We're here.
We're good.
Okay.
Joe, and well, just off of that, Joe Biden is literally throwing it back in Bernie's face by saying, "I'm not the socialist. I beat the socialists. I'm not doing the Green New Deal."
He wants to piss everybody on the left off, fam.
So who is his audience? Who is his target audience? Right? Who is his target audience?
Rich white Republican suburban dwellers who are Trump voters who don't like him anymore.
Yeah.
That's who he's going for. He's not going for. He's not going for me. He's not going for you. He's not going for the black people in Milwaukee who didn't vote for Hillary. He's not going for any of those people.
Yeah.
It's the same strategy as Hillary Clinton. And so he thinks, well, I just got to swing 7,000 or more votes in Michigan and Pennsylvania and I can fucking win. And so that they're just because they're donor clad. Joe Biden, why would he be against Medicare for all? Like it's going to fucking cost him money? No, it's because his donor class. That's it. You are not allowed to do that. And if he wasn't that way, he wouldn't be. They would have never got Barack Obama to make everybody else drop out before fucking Super Tuesday.
Yeah. Which seems really funny to me, being an election integrity activist, knowing that Joe Biden all of a sudden got all these early votes and these mail-in votes. It's like that wheel was already set in motion, it feels like, and that they were just completing the master plan. And then Barack Obama had to work the phones to get Buttigieg and Klobuchar to drop out. Are we going to see any movement from anybody up top or maybe the lower part of the Democratic Party, the squad? I don't know how you feel about them. I'm not too crazy about them taking the reins. But if the Democratic Party does make a change and it gets into the hands of the Ayanna Presleys, the Ilhan Omars, the AOCs, what are your thoughts there?
They all voted for the largest upward transfer of wealth in the history of humankind. If you think those people are your saviors or that they have integrity or courage, I've got fucking news for you. They are fucking narcissistic, megalomaniac, fucking politicians like everybody else.
Yeah.
And they are not going to save you. They all voted for it, including Bernie Sanders. It was the biggest betrayal of the American people in our history. And what is the point of voting for fucking progressives inside the Democratic Party if they won't stand up to Nancy Pelosi, which is just another face of Trump?
Exactly. There is no way to reform the Democratic Party. I mean, every single time we elect people to go in there, they capitulate to the establishment because that is the way the system is set up. People need to realize that they need to go outside the Democratic Party and not just rely on political elections every fucking 4 years to think that you're going to make a change. I mean, it's going to require going outside the electorate. What do you think? I know you spoke on the movement for People's Party convention, but also what do you think about a general strike movement, a mass people's movement? What is the way? Because we don't have any power in the electorate. People have already given it up by saying we have to vote for Joe, even if he doesn't give us Medicare for all, even if he doesn't defund the police or does nothing to us, we still have to vote for them anyway. So we're not going to get shit from the Democratic Party. So where is our power right now?
So I think it was proven that the power is actually in the quote unquote essential workers' hands. And if someone learns how to organize those, just grocery store workers, we could shut down the goddamn country. You have grocery store workers go. I mean, you saw what happened during COVID. You couldn't give, it's crazy what could happen, right? So I think that if there's, my prediction, and I hate to be a pessimist, but my prediction is that, if the Democrats lose to Trump, it will help a third party. How much, I don't know. If the Democrats beat Trump, it'll help a third party. How much, I don't know. That it's a shit show. So that's where the power lies. So what can we do? The power lies in forming an actual third party. And so no matter which way this election goes, I think people are going to wake up to it, because they are already.
Yeah.
And I think that it's in the hands of the workers. Chris Smalls, who was that fired Amazon worker, he's getting ready to fuck over Amazon and do a protest against them in a big way. And we're going to have him on our show to talk about it. And I think it's going to have to come from people like that. And I think you're going to, if they find a charismatic guy with Chris Small's heart, if we could take Chris Small's heart and put it in Barack Obama, then we'd have something. But I just think it's going to really come down to like when the teachers all get together and they decide to do something. So I think it's going to, it's like, what if the teachers went on strike and said, "Fuck you, we'd have to get Medicare for all," and because too many of our students are sick and don't have, whatever. It's it's going to take something like that. It's going to definitely come from the bottom up. It's definitely not coming from the top down. Exactly. And so Rashid Tlaib, or was it Pramila Jayapal? What?
Pramila is Washington. Rashid is Michigan.
So which one was on the task force for healthcare? So what?
Pramila.
So Pramila Jayapal was on the task force for healthcare, and did you know that she never even during any of the meetings brought up Medicare for all as a solution to the problem?
Yeah, we heard about that. Yeah.
What is the point of going on that task force if you're not allowed to bring up the solution?
Why they weren't allowed?
Right? Because you're willing to be used by the fucking corporation. That's what that was. Well, no, Jimmy, she was serving the party. Well, why is the party serving the corporation? She's just one step removed. You're serving the party that's serving the corporation. You're serving Joe Biden specifically. That guy is the fucking corporation. And they did that willingly. And I'm supposed to feel bad that I don't want to fucking support the Democratic Party? Go fuck. They don't support me.
They haven't supported anybody for a really fucking long time.
All right, Jimmy, give us your last prediction on what the election is going to turn out to be, and other
than a shit show.
Other than final predictions. And my last question is too: do you think they're going to let Biden debate again? I don't think Biden helped himself whatsoever. They've been toying with the fact that they're going to pull away from these debates, so I don't think they're going to let him debate again.
Greg, that's a great point. I didn't think about that. Yeah, I bet they do pull him away from the debate. Or he didn't look strong. It's hard to look stronger than Trump, I guess. But he never been, even during the primary debate, it's like he clung to his weakness. He would always go, "I'm sorry, my time's up," and he'd always look down. And like it's like he knew the fix was eventually going to be in, and he just had to fucking get there. And he did, and it worked. It's amazing. And so, I mean, he's got no skills. What's he gonna? I mean, he did not have a policy that was going to help people that could shut Trump up. That's what he needs to have. He's got to say, yeah, we're going to save the planet with Green New Deal. It's going to create all these jobs, and we're going to give everybody health care doing it. What's your plan?
Yeah.
And he can't do that because he doesn't have a plan.
Do you see a civil war happening? Because a lot of people feel like there's going to be a civil war no matter who wins, whether it's Biden, that the right is going to be angry and take to the streets, or whether it's Trump, that the left is going to get angry and take to the streets.
I think the ultimate ruler of the king in America is the corporation and the Wall Street and the military-industrial complex, and I don't think the Civil War helps them.
Yep, it doesn't.
I don't think they'll allow them. I think they'll make the Democrats and Republicans come together. Publicly. They already have behind closed doors.
Right.
Nancy Pelosi passes his agenda, won't oppose his Supreme Court pick, won't, and isn't that hilarious? Anyway, but it's just, I was thinking about that. Merrick Garland, at no point, he nominated a fucking corporatist who was pro Citizens United. I mean, what the fuck? And somehow still, though, if you have an MSNBC contract, that's my fault.
Well, Jimmy, I think what the Democrats can do is just cancel the debates with Trump and have Biden debate with Bernie Sanders again. So, we can continue to lie and say, Joe is my friend. And then therefore, he wins they get him some momentum going into this thing. So it makes him look good.
Send Bernie instead of Biden for the next one. I don't know.
Bernie to replace Biden.
You remember when Biden said, Bernie, you got 12 super PACs, 9 super PACs. And remember Bernie had that zinger comeback. Joe, come on.
Seriously.
That was it. That was his big, like he didn't fucking harp on that for the rest of the goddamn night. He didn't harp on how much fucking money you've taken, who you're bought by, why the fuck he did all that. That he didn't fucking critique the 8 years he spent in the goddamn White House, repealing habeas corpus, kicking, hey, guess what you did last time there was an economic downturn, Joe? You kicked 5.1 million families out of their fucking houses. That's your plan. How you gonna, what's your plan this time? Kick out 6 million, 7 million? What is your fucking plan? He didn't say anything.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, unfortunately, that's just Bernie Sanders lacking the political will to really do. I mean, if anything, just show him a tape of tonight, go back in time and say, hey, watch, this was from the future of Donald Trump and Joe Biden. This is how you debate Joe Biden. Because like we said, he wouldn't shut up, but that's Joe Biden's job to shut him up, not the moderator. You know he's going to go in there. You got to be ready to go back and forth with him, and you can't depend on the moderator. And, it was a sad state of affairs today for anybody on the left if this is your choice.
Well, that's
Joe
not
Biden.
the left, but yeah. Anybody on the Democratic Republican side.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Jimmy, so much for coming on.
We do appreciate it, Jimmy.
It's a pleasure. Your lighting is fantastic. You guys
Thank you.
Thank you.
You guys look,
I like your shirt.
You look way younger.
Thank you. Johnny can make you look young. That's what he does. Johnny Sue on the ones and twos. Jimmy, say hi to Steph. Thank you so much.
We love Steph.
We'll catch up with you soon.
It was a pleasure. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Welcome back to the Convo Couch, everyone. Pasta Jardula.
And I'm Fiorella.
Johnny Sue on the ones and twos. And we want to thank you all for being here this long night.
Yeah.
This long night, fam.
Very, very long.
Very long. It's a beautiful, beautiful
debate.
Night. They're handing out the insulin like water.
Shit show, fam.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately for the Democrats, Joe Biden did look like he was on the defensive. He did look like he was weak. Donald Trump looks like the strong guy, the guy that is going to really, play to that whole patriotic side. Oh, we're America and we're going to get them and we're going to just go after him. And that's Donald Trump right now, the way he was jabbing at Joe Biden with what we talked with Jimmy Dore just now a few minutes ago, where, we're talking about how the Democrats don't offer any solutions. You even mentioned, I don't think we got to really talk about it, but the election integrity issue, right? Joe Biden completely dismissed it. The Democrats dismissed it, but the truth is Bernie Sanders, the both times he ran, he faced a lot of election fraud from the Democratic Party, and nobody said anything about it. Now all of a sudden Democrats want to act like they want to stop Donald Trump from his cheating, as if the Republicans are the only ones that cheat. We know both parties cheat, right, fam?
I mean, the Democrats admitted they cheated in federal court, right? So why would they stop again? Do they not realize that people are not going to be that stupid and going to kind of catch up onto this? When William Barr can go on Wolf Blitzer and said, it's not me who said this, it's your beloved Jimmy Carter of the left who said that the mail-in process is the biggest place for fraud to take place. Right there. You know what I'm saying? And they're just going to completely ignore it. They cheat. They don't care. I mean, I'm not saying that the Republicans don't cheat, that they try to move people and disenfranchise them from the voter rolls, of course, you know what I'm saying? But the Democrats do it politically, and they do it in the primary. Right. They do it to cheat their candidates. So when you have people who are releasing books like how Trump stole the election, no, the election's already been stolen in the primaries because you're taking away the person who could beat Donald Trump.
Yeah, both times, twice. It wasn't enough to do it in 2016. Then they had to do it again in 2020 and then bring in Obama to really, get everybody behind, whip up the phones for Joe Biden. Joe Biden, who didn't win New Hampshire, who didn't win Iowa. And historically, the people who do win those two states go on to win the election, which is not what happened this time. That's like, we're working on a documentary, but the fact is both can be true. Ballot harvesting and vote by mail is an issue that needs to be addressed because our whole election system needs to be revamped. Our whole election system needs to be really redone and looked at. It's not that I'm supporting the fact that Donald Trump is trying to rig these elections. It's also the fact that they're both trying to rig these elections and use them for their own political will and their own manipulated narrative to get people on either side to fall in line. And again, if the Democrats had been talking about election integrity way before Donald Trump brought this up, I would have more credibility in them, but they haven't.
Yep.
And so now we're vilifying people like Congresswoman Gabbard who have been putting out election integrities, like the Securing Our Elections Act that she pushed out that nobody cared about way before Project Fairness.
And it gets you thinking the ideology of our elections. We have some friends of ours who spent these elections with us, and they've seen what goes on, and it's just disgusting across the board. The purging of the what do you call the rolls of people who they know are going to vote, and specifically when it came to L.A., they really suppressed the hipster vote and the Latino vote. Those two people right there, the hipster vote and the Latino vote, were attacked tremendously. They moved Latino,
the youth vote, yeah.
Youth vote. I'm saying that. Well, that young vote that's going to show up in L.A. is going to vote for Bernie Sanders. I'm going to get my sticker, fam. I took the day off. Let's do this. And then they're stuck in line for 7-8 hours. And literally there were 7-8 hour lines. It's funny. I went back and looked at the free pizza line because there was a service offering you can buy pizza to send people. This is the tactics the Democrats use, right? Okay, we got to keep people in line. Send them pizza. How about we fix the friggin' elections? How about we look at our elections for what they are? How about we add some transparency? How about we get rid of the black box proprietary software that tabulates our elections? How about we stop giving these no-bid contracts to these big mailing companies that have been around forever that are printing dead ballots all over the place and just regular ballots? There's no security there. How about we fix the actual mellifluousness of the actual voting system itself? All these things. I mean, this is elections. And what do, fam? Our imperialism is back behind the ideology that these leaders that are coming to power stole their elections. But yet we can't have decent elections of ourselves. And even people like the Jimmy Carter Institute, who says, no, Venezuela's elections are fair. They're one of the best elections allowed. But our elections stink, and yet we want to use it as an excuse. And it's just a shame right now that the Democrats are playing this card. They're being very disingenuous by removing the fact that the mail-in ballots are bad. They need to be reformed. We have every part of our elections we need to be reformed. So
did we miss some super chats last time? And we have another one.
We did.
Here?
I think we had a couple before. Let me read real quick. I lost them. Damn it.
Make sure it says all chat. If you it says
Where?
all chat.
Okay, I'll do that. That's not it. But let me read that last one that just came up with. Tijwazi. I always say the name wrong. Tejaswi?
Okay.
All right. Surprised how the progressives like TYT and Sam Cedars are ignoring how Biden face slammed the Green New Deal. They don't have balls to criticize. What's agenda of such progressives? I generally don't know.
Well, the agenda is for people to go back into the Democratic Party and think that you can reform it. That's the whole thing. Like, there's a difference between people like trying to do with what is there with what they can, and then people really like leading people back into the Democratic Party full on, thinking that you are ever going to really be an equal to them, thinking that progressives are going to really grab a hold of it and take it from the inside. That hasn't worked. We don't have time to do that over and over again. And I think people like Sam Cedar and TYT still see Donald Trump as more of the problem rather than the symptom, because he's a symptom. He like all of this is possible because of people like Joe Biden, because of people like Obama, because of Bush, because of years of neoliberalism that led us to this very moment right now, which is a tipping point. This is how we got here in America. So like if we didn't want Donald Trump, and Donald Trump would have never been elected had we not rigged the elections against Bernie Sanders twice, or at the very least had they selected somebody that could actually beat Donald Trump, which would have been other people, but like except Joe Biden. Like, they chose the worst candidate in modern history. And they chose the worst vice president, too. Again.
They doubled down.
They chose a top cop while people are fighting against police brutality. So this, to me, and I forgot to bring this up to Jimmy, but this is, to me, the Democratic Party isn't a real party. They don't exist to oppose the Republican Party. They're a complete controlled opposition. They are out there to make sure you vote for them or for the Republican Party, but never for any third party, that you never think it's possible, that you think you're stuck in this and this is the way it is and this is the way it's going to be. To me, that's why they're there. I don't think this is real. I don't think that they want this. Like, I don't think they want to win. It's very clear to me that they don't want to win after today. So
it's one big aisle, fam. Yeah. It's one big aisle.
Who
Bernie
said that?
Said it a long time ago. Bernie said it. I wish he never backed down from it. But he said it's one big aisle, and it looks like I believe that the Democrats want to lose. I don't think they want this. It's like, nah, we don't want to.
Well, it falls on them, right?
They're like, I don't want the keys to the car.
If Joe Biden wins, then he has to fix this shit, right? Yeah, right. This is how people view it. Even though problems come decades and decades before they show up. This is like, but that's not how people see it. People are going to see, oh, well, Joe Biden's president now, so everything falls on him. So I genuinely think, like, it doesn't matter. I think I agree. Like, I think people, even though I think some people will go back to sleep if Joe Biden is president in the long run, I don't think as many people are going to go back to sleep as they did during the Obama years. I think we've lifted the veil, and now it's going to be very difficult to ignore.
DC, they give it a super chat contribution. Always appreciate it on the couch. Listen to this one, fam. I love this one. Thank you, DC. Thoughts on doing away with the secret ballot? How else could there be a proper citizen audit? The secret ballot is what they referred to, the mail-in ballot back in the time, because of coming in, there's no security about where it's coming from. If you want to do absentee mail-in ballots, I want a tracking system. When the post office delivers it, bloop, they hit it. When you mail it out, bloop, they press it. You know where that ballot has been. It's been tracked the whole way. Only in a case for people who are elder or they can't make it. It's got to be limited, but you have to have tracking involved and stuff like that. There's no tracking on these ballots. No. So thousands of ballots go out and they go in, and they just are taken.
Well, they move them from one place to another to another. The ballots should be counted in the place where people vote, or in one single place. You can't keep moving ballots from everywhere. That's where you lose security and where you lose sight.
Yeah, it's terrible. North American Ape. Thank you for the super chat and contribution. It's always appreciated on the couch. Biden, I'm going to tax the rich. The 130 billionaire donors. LOL. Yeah. Are you sure about that, Biden?
Yeah. No.
He's going to tax his own people. And I think we got this one. Did we say that one? I think so. What's the Streamlabs / the Convo Couch? Give me a second. I am. Oh, sorry.
So, fams, I know everybody might agree, no matter where you fall, on who won. The people lost. The people lost today, as we said earlier. The people aren't getting anything out of these debates. These debates are just watching Donald Trump take jabs at Joe Biden, and Joe Biden just not really defending himself or coming up with anything good policy-wise for the people. He had every opportunity to really be the president that's fighting for Black lives or that's fighting for, the left and the issues. Instead, he completely smashed the idea that he's related to the socialist Bernie Sanders, completely just said, I'm not defunding the police, I'm not banning fracking, I'm the Green New Deal's not in my plan. He doubled down on every single thing that could have actually helped him. And so instead, he's tailoring his policies to the lobbyists and the corporatists and the rich Republicans that don't like Trump. That's a very small contingent of people, and that's not even the majority of the Democratic Party. The Democrats, people who are Democrats, registered Democrats, are not with Joe Biden right now. Like, they are for Medicare for all. They are for some sort of Green New Deal. So when you're not going after your core base, who are you going after? There's no other answer other than the lobbyists, and that's not going to get you to win against Donald Trump's momentum.
Idiot Box, thank you for the super chat contribution. Always appreciate it on the couch. Says, please do a show on Howie Hawkins' debate response. Let me tell you something here. We're sitting there. Let's not get lost in the sauce. I know that's coming out in that thing. Johnny, I'm on the Streamlabs. No, it doesn't. But I like the whole thing. It's really, really cool. Oh, man, I got to get an account over here. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank everybody who also stayed on the Rokfin. It was almost 200 plus at one point. That's great for our Rokfin who watch the debate with us. We have a couple hundred people right now on our YouTube, which is awesome, and still about 100 left over on our Rokfin hanging out over there. So thank you so much. Thank you to our Patreons. Are we set up on our webpage yet for PayPal? Or okay, you can always go to our webpage too as well. We have a PayPal over there as well.
What's the PayPal? So we can announce it, because that should be something that's.
My bad. I should have announced it right now. I apologize. But
okay.
Our Patreons,
I thought it was ready. Sorry.
My bad. Our Patreons, thank you so much. I love to always mention you guys, 123 of you. It's just fantastic. I appreciate what you guys do for us. And also those people who gave us those super chat contributions today. Thank you so much. That always helps. But the best one is always that Rokfin, that subscriber, that endorsement for $9.99. You get advertisement-free content from the Convo Couch and everybody for that one endorsement. So,
all right, guys, are we signing off?
All right, I had enough for today.
Yeah, we had enough for today. This is it is difficult. You guys you don't have to watch it all, but like
remarks.
Us,
what do you think? Do you think did Joe Biden do anything good for himself tonight?
No. I think Joe Biden hurt himself today.
Did Donald Trump do anything good for himself?
I think Donald Trump looked like he was the tough guy, and I think his base loves that. It eats it up. He's playing to his base. Yeah. Joe Biden is really not playing.
If anybody who didn't vote last time is going to vote this time, they're probably going to lean towards that Donald Trump again, because the person who even looks stronger no matter what, you know what I'm saying? That was the thing about Jeremy Corbyn. That was the thing about Bernie Sanders. The weak lookingness, you know what I'm saying? The kind of backing down. Yeah. He did call Donald Trump a clown one time, but that seemed like it was out of his own anger. I really think that they're not going to put Joe out there again. That this was the last and only debate.
I mean, but if they don't, that also looks bad on them too. So
it will look bad on them, but they're trying to lose.
Yeah, guys, this is Donald Trump is going to have the upper hand in this election. There's no way that you're going to convince me that Florida or Wisconsin. All these people are saying Wisconsin's going to go to Joe Biden.
Oh,
it's not, unless they rig it really well.
I
don't really think it's going to go for Joe Biden. So many people who were going to vote for Green are not going to vote or are going to vote against Joe Biden.
By the way, we have another super chat from Tajaswi Raghurama. You and Jimmy Dore are the only strong and brave, outspoken progressives I can look up to when I'm down and I need inspiration. Aww. You hear that?
Thank you.
Thank you, and more power to you. I know it takes a lot.
Power to the people.
It does take a lot.
Power to the people.
It's scary sometimes. Like every single time I make a tweet now, I'm double checking. I'm like, fam, is this okay? Or am I going to step out of line by saying this? But I got to say it. But thank you. You guys give us the strength. You guys give us the hope. You guys give us the support. And we can't thank you enough. So for Pasta Jardula,
Fiorella,
Jonny Sue on the 1s and 2s.
Convo out. See you tomorrow.